Okay, so Git. Should we start?
Let's do it.
All right. So I should open up the same. Hang on, let me double check. Is the same project?
You should like tee it
Yeah.
up for everyone who's gonna watch, like the scenario that we're in here, in case not everybody knows.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone. This is Brian Clark and Burke Holland teaming up on Asim Hussein to force him into using Visual Studio Code.
we're gonna bully him into it.
Yeah. I'm an old person who is very used to his ways. And I've been using WebStorm for a while. I'm almost on the verge of using code. And yeah, Brian and Burke are on the line today just to answer a few questions and see.
We're here to push you over the edge.
Push me over the edge.
This will be a true test to see if we could teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah. Or a lemming pushing me over the cliff.
Push an old lemming over the cliff. All right, so show us. I guess show us what you love so much. First of all, what editor is this, and what is it that gives you like a warm and fuzzy feeling here?
So this is, this is PyCharm, but it's actually WebStorm. So I used to do Python development, and with Python development, I could use PyCharm, and PyCharm is a superset of WebStorm. So it's basically WebStorm plus a bunch of features that you can basically plus Python support.
Is that an open source thing?
No, it's from IntelliJ.
Okay, so it's the same.
JetBrains, the company.
Okay, so it is from JetBrains. It's their Python flavored WebStorm.
Yeah. Unlike one of the things with JetBrains is that it has like IntelliJ, PyCharm, WebStorm, and essentially it's the same IDE with exactly the same user interface for everything, and you can then just flip easily between Java and Python and JavaScript with exactly the same user interface. So, yeah, and I've just been using it for quite a few years. But now
we should point out that JetBrains makes amazing tools. Yes. They really do. Some of the best developer tools out there. So if you haven't looked at JetBrains tools and you're watching this, you should.
Yeah. But what I've noticed myself doing these days is JetBrains is PyCharm is still a little bit heavyweight. Just opening it up can take not that long, to be honest with you, maybe like 20 seconds. But with code, it's like instantaneous. So
can you show us?
Yeah, let's see that.
Can we see it?
Yeah, go on. PyCharm.
Yeah.
Where's the splash screen for PyCharm? Still loading. It's normally a splash screen, but I suppose it's not showing now for some reason.
So normally there'd be like a square in the middle.
Oh, sorry. No. It's because I've got a bunch of others opened up as well, so I didn't actually close PyCharm. Let me close PyCharm now.
Well, I think the other thing to point out, the difference between these two is like one is a full-blown IDE and VSCode is really just an editor, right? So like an IDE is going to be packed with all these crazy features by default. I mean, you think about like Visual Studio proper, it has all these features built into it, and that probably adds to the opening up time, right?
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. Maybe because I've already opened it up before, but like code is like super, super fast. If I wanted to open up code, I would just go and drop into here, code dot, done. So it is faster, right?
Yeah.
And so what I find myself doing is I quite often just open up code if I just expect to do like a quick change. And then if I'm doing something a lot more involved, I would then usually open up PyCharm. And I realized the other day, I'm only really doing the same things when I'm doing the stuff that's more involved. And one of them, well, a lot of it is really dealing with Git. I'm not actually comfortable with Git on the command line. So a few of the things I'd end up doing is, let's say I'm in my project folder here, I usually just end up flipping between branches using the this little thing on the bottom here. So I've only got one branch here, but if I can create a new branch called hello, then I'd usually just flip between branches like this.
So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that VS Code has that. It's just in the opposite corner.
Oh, really?
It's in the left corner.
Bottom left corner. Click on that.
Yeah?
And
no.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
And
It just
create
throws
new
you off,
button.
right? You're constantly looking in that corner. You're like, there's no
Yeah.
Git support, man. What's happening?
Oh wow. I was not expecting that.
Bam.
Okay.
Done. Sold.
done.
Video over.
Okay. All right, next up, viewing history. So like I'll make lots of changes to a file. I'll then look at what changes did I make. Now it's kind of got two. I don't really expect the first one to have. I just don't expect it, right? But it has, if you're not even using Git, it keeps its own history, which is nice, like a nice, like really quick way just to see what's going on. Oh, I've only got one thing for that file. Why have I only? Oh, because I haven't. Okay, so it's storing some local changes. I haven't touched this file in a couple of days, so I only have one change. So it just has a little quick thing there. Or if I want to just look at Git history, I can go to Git, show history, and then again only one commit. But anyway, it just shows me the stuff there, and I can double click it to look at the file on that commit. Is there something similar in VS Code?
I am looking through.
Well, for history,
Right
I don't know. There might be an extension that might take that support. But if you click on the just above that little, go ahead.
Yeah.
The way that this, sorry, I'm jumping in here. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, anything Git wise that you want to see comparison between the differences and whatever files change, it's that little, it's the third icon from the top.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. And so if you had files change there, you would see them under the changes.
So change one of your files and save it, Asim.
I can definitely see stuff here. Yeah.
All right, now click on that. Click on the file name.
Oh, so I can see the side by side for that one. Can I see history though? How would you guys look at like history?
I don't usually do that, so I don't know offhand really.
Okay. I think we're just talking about Git. I'm just have to get better at Git. Do you guys use Git? You guys are quite comfortable, I imagine, with Git on the command line. All right.
Well, hold on a second. I found an extension called Git History.
Oh.
And this is usually the case. If it's not built in by default to the tool, someone's probably made an extension for it. The ecosystem is crazy good for Visual Studio Code. It's part of the reason why I kind of like it, because if there's something that is missing that I need to find, then usually out.
And this one's got over 1 million downloads.
Oh, yeah. It's got a local history as well. That looks interesting. So is this the one? Can you see my screen?
We see
Git history.
That's the one.
I just hit and click install. Oh yeah, 1 million downloads. Okay, well let's give it a go.
I'm gonna install that one too.
And now I just click reload.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what this does. So now, look at a file. Oh!
Boom. There you go.
That is what is that? That is, there, it's here. It's in this top here. Ah, okay. So now if I look at view history, Git log. Oh,
that's
wow.
I like that.
That's pretty nice. If you click on one of those, do you get the file? Can you view the?
If I click this. Oh, this is very nice. And then I can see. So what
can you actually get back to the actual change and view it? View change log, view file contents. Yeah.
Well, and I can compare against work. Let me compare against workplace file. Oh yes, that's exactly cool.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Me like.
Can't quite see the changes, but it must be somewhere. Okay, cool. Oh wow, so that's it. So basically, if I can't find something, I should find a plugin to install as well. Let me check the other one. There was another one called. What was I looking for? Git history. There was local history as well. Yes, this looks like the same as what I had when I didn't need to use. So now if I click on, what's the command to see? Local. I must have to change something. Oh, here, local history. Oh. Ah.
It'd be nice if it put like little ticks out in the margin so you could see where the changes were.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Okay. That's good. So now I've got both. Oh, I can see.
Oh no. Okay.
It does. I can edit both of them. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's interesting. How do I close this? Okay, excellent. All right, we're doing good actually. Other things. So, stashing and unstashing. How do I stash? You know, if I'm in PyCharm and I am working on something and I want to just, for whatever reason, I want to stash it, I would go to Git, repository, stash changes, stash it on the branch, then kind of unstash it later on. Do you know?
Yep. So if you bring up the command palette, you can do that with, on a Mac, it's Command Shift P. On a Windows machine, it's Control Shift P, I think. And then just start typing stash or stage. You wanted stash though, right?
Stash, yeah.
You got, yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Cool.
And that's it. So stash. Oh, and message. Hello. And then unstash would be. Oh wow, is that it?
That's on stage.
You want
to pop the stash.
Yeah, pop stash. Yeah, pop latest stash. Okay. Let me I don't know what these are. Oh, I think the local history plugin is making these little files. Okay. Let me do that again, actually. So now I've got this one file. It's got the hello. So if I now do stash, that should. Oh, it's gone. Excellent. Now I'll do unstash. No, pop. And it's back again. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Here's a cool feature in WebStorm, but like when you're working with a team and you want to like something's gone wrong and you've identified like a line of code where it's gone wrong, let's say it's this one, you can go annotate, and you hard to tell with this one, but it has like the person who made the change to this file, right? So I think this is Git blame.
Yeah, so for this one you can use something called Git Lens. There's a plugin extension.
A plugin.
Extension. Sorry, they're extensions. They're not plugins, as I've been told many, many times. It's called Git Lens.
Installing. Oh, this is easy. That's actually one of the things that does, like with PyCharm, it's got plugins as well, but restarting is so painful. I will often install a plugin and then just not bother restarting.
Yeah, that is one of the nice things about the quick restart is the fact that you'll do it without, you'll just reload whenever because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So if you go to a file now, any file that you've committed to source control.
So what's happening here? So now there's more of these things on the left-hand side. These are all the plugins I've installed?
Correct.
You can hide and remove those if you want to. Like if you right click on, let's say, the commits one.
Yeah. Hide from sidebar.
Yeah. So you can
cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna find a file and
now it just shows up in line.
Wow. Wow. It's in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to right click or do anything to show it like you did in WebStorm, buddy. It's just
wow. And what did it? Was this just the change? This was the change. Oh, I could just see the change. I can see the actual commit, and that pops
or you can go to the change. Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome.
Looks like this is just one big commit.
Yeah, that was one big commit. Okay. This next one's challenging, I think.
Okay. All right.
All right. So in, let me get rid of this annotator. I'll never need this again. If I am on a separate branch, I'll make sure I don't want to mess up. Okay, cool. So I'm pretty sure, let me double check I'm right here. So if I move this file, I'm dragging it. If I move it to this other folder, okay, it's moved. Now, when I look in the commit history, yeah, it says it's done a git move, yeah, from here to here. So when I check in, the whole git history will still exist, even though I moved the file. So now if I like how do I undo that? Revert. I want to revert the move. Let me revert. Okay, so that should move it. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Now it's back here. Okay. So now if I did the same thing in Visual Studio, if I like took that file, moved it here, yeah, it does a delete and then an update. Is that what you means? So now I'm pretty sure if I check this in, it will show it as, it won't show the git move. Should I try it?
Hold on. When I did it just now. Yeah, go ahead.
So now I've got the view history thing. So it's this one. So if I now looked at the history. Oh, no, it does do a move. It knows that there was an initial. No.
I mean, it knows it moved. It showed that it was deleted and added. You know, it picks it up as a delete and an add.
Yeah. So. No, it does do a move.
It does do a move. But here's the thing. If you go back to your Git tab, what do they call this in Visual Studio Code, Brian? They're not tabs. They're
This thing? This?
viewlets.
Yeah.
Viewlets.
This thing here? Or
Correct. So before, when you did you moved the file and then you like reverted it and it moved the file back.
that was in the other one, yeah.
In WebStorm, when I did that in Visual Studio Code, when I reverted that change, it just deleted the file from my folder. In other words, so I moved the file, I reverted the change, but it just deleted the moved file from the folder that it was moved to. It did not restore. So if I go back here,
when you tried to do a git move, it didn't. When you tried to revert a git move, it didn't revert it properly.
You have to revert both. So when you revert the one, because it comes in as two changes, right? One is the delete from the original location and the add to the second. So if you revert the add, it just deletes the file, but then you have to go revert the delete, which puts the file back.
Okay. But WebStorm seems to have done that automatically.
It does. WebStorm's doing it in one command. Visual Studio Code treats those as different transactions.
Apparently. But at the very least, it is doing a move. It's doing a git move. So
yes, it is doing a git move.
Somehow. Okay. Which is good. I mean, that's kind of, yeah, that's good. I remember ages ago when I had somebody working in my team who's using Vim. And we were discussing kind of re-architecting a folder structure. Just kind of like put his hands up and he just didn't want to do anything because like doing git move on the command line for thousands of files was a nightmare. And then I just like dragged some folders over and did it in like 10 seconds. And they were like, what? So,
yeah, I'll admit, I mean, I mostly use Git on the command line, but because of that, my Git usage is very restricted, right? It's basically add, commit, checkout, branch, very simple. But when you have a visual editor, you tend to use a whole lot more of the commands that you otherwise just wouldn't know because you can't remember all those flags and rebasing and all that stuff. So yeah, you're totally right. I would never try to move files from the command line in Git.
Okay. Well, that's like, oh, wow. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go. Let's carry on. Let's do you know what? There's definitely okay. I'm on another branch, so I can do what I want right now. So if I did a rename here, no, let's not do that one. Let's actually look at code. So, and actually, let me show you in WebStorm. Okay, so if I was to change like anything I wanted to change the name of, let me try and find something. Hopefully, it'll work with this. So if I try to change the name of this property, I would do Shift F6, smile 2, smile 2, and then it would basically change it. I can refactor it everywhere. So then it did changed it here and it changed it here. And actually, that wasn't even that elegant. In other situations, it does it much more elegantly in one. Anything similar? Rename is the only kind of refactor command I ever really used, to be honest with you.
Brian, you want to take that one?
Sure. So do you have that same file opened up, or what do you want to rename in here?
Let's rename it to, have the same. No, hang on. Do I?
You have like a property.
Yeah, here we go. I called it 2. Let's call it 3.
Okay. So you can either right click, or I think the command is F2 or function F2 on.
Oh yeah, okay, F2, yeah, F2. Yeah.
And that'll rename the symbol. Boom.
Seriously?
Bada bing, bada boom.
No.
Yes. So, and then I think there's so many ways you can do these things. You can also bring up the command palette, I think, to rename.
Just select it and bring up the command palette. Oh, sugar. What's command palette again? Shift. Oh no, I pressed
Command Shift P, and then I think it's the @ symbol, or actually no, not Command Shift P. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, rename.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, it's the same.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
There's so many different ways you can do these things.
Would it do like, as long as it understands a symbol? So does it do cross file? Do you know?
I believe so, but I'm not as confident about that one actually.
Okay, let's see. So smile to unlock hider. Is that used anywhere? No, hang on. Do you know what? It's used. Yeah, let's try it out. Actually, I don't think this is used anywhere.
You should find one that's used somewhere else.
Yeah, trying to think.
Maybe are there any of those properties used in another file?
I have a feeling it's just all used in this one. It's just all used. It's all kind of bundled together and not really imported anywhere, which would mean it's probably not going to be used. But that's all right. I think that's good enough.
If it isn't there right now, then I'm sure it's in the backlog for them to handle that. Okay. But yeah, I imagine it's there. I just
I don't.
Off the top of my head or offhand, I haven't done it recently to where I recall it working. So I'm not as.
Okay, I think this isn't just a complicated enough process to. Oh, it did it! It did.
Ah, there you go.
It did something.
Yeah, when you change that to it found it being used in the other file. That's cool. Okay.
But the docs for code say that some languages support rename symbol across files.
Okay.
Press F2, type the new desired name, and press enter. All usages of the symbol will be renamed across files. So is there a command for rename across files as opposed to just rename? Brian, do you know?
No, I think it would just be the same way you invoke renaming within a file. It'll
just does it across files.
It'll intelligently pick up, okay, for this language that's being used, we can see that we need to rename it in another file as well.
Okay. Well, it did that quite intelligently because this is an event emitter, so it turned this into like a string.
Yeah, that's I hadn't seen it do that before, so that's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't know it would do that.
That's pretty cool. Okay, let's do more. One thing I would do here, because let me revert this. Let me revert all those changes.
I think you should push them all to production.
Revert. Okay. Cancel. All right. So another thing. Come on. Oh. It didn't revert the move. Oh no.
You have to refresh the directory or something.
Maybe. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's move on. So another thing that I would do is, and this isn't, you don't have to do it with the smile to unlock file, but it's a sass file. So I wouldn't normally. Sometimes I put in a gulp script or something, or sometimes because it's so easy to do it with WebStorm, I would set up a file watcher internally in WebStorm. So I would just have something. It has the capability. File watch. No, watcher. Yeah, it's a file watcher. So then I would say, okay, I want to listen for sass, and it kind of knows all the command lines and everything. You hit OK, hit apply, you're okay, you're all done. And then you see here, there's no CSS, but then if I change something, probably change it well. And then you can see here, it's compiled a CSS and a map file automatically. And then I would just maybe check those in.
So basically you're saying you can compile the CSS, but you don't have to like set up any build tools to do that. WebStorm just does it for you.
Well, you can set it up with a file watcher to do it for you. And you can do other things as well, not just sass. Actually, the only thing I really use it for is sass. Is there anything? I imagine there is, but
as you can probably guess,
yeah,
there's an extension called Live Sass Compiler.
Okay. I don't even think I need to like install and run this. I think,
but basically, yeah, it does the same thing. It just watches your files and compiles them to sass for you, and you can control it from the action bar down at the bottom, turning the live watching on and off.
Wow. Okay, let's try out then. So let me go. Ooh. So now I go to here, and then this thing, this.
That. Watching.
Oh, it's not liking this file because it's got some problems.
Oh yeah, it's throwing an error down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Node modules font awesome CSS font awesome.css. It can't find that.
Does it need to be?
Relative. Boom. So that would be in components.
That's it right there, right? The hider.css.css map, or were you doing the smile.unlock.css?
I was doing the other one, but it's happened to the other ones. Yes, it's definitely worked. I think I've just probably got some errors somewhere. Okay. It's got this nice inline. Oh, I like that.
Oh, go over the, you can get the color picker.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. We're doing good. All right. Okay. So, two things. This isn't a good example for this. Let me find another one. Okay. So,
are you like 50% convinced right now, or where do you think?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much 50% convinced. I think there's one other thing that I think is the main thing for me. But let me show you. So, this is like basically it's TypeScript, right? So, if I remove this import, for instance, okay, this goes red. It knows it needs this import for this hasn't been imported, so I can then do Alt Enter, and then it will add it to the import list above.
Nice.
Does it have that Intellisense?
Absolutely.
Ah, yes. Show me. So here, close out this.
Just try exactly what you did.
Oh, wow. I've never actually tried that. Okay, come on.
Now scroll down and look at that. There's an error.
How do I get it?
You can press F8.
F8.
Okay. That's how you toggle through the errors. If you click the light bulb over there.
The light bulb?
I don't know. Brian probably knows the shortcut for this.
I don't remember it offhand, actually. It's some weird key combination. It's like Command Shift and then like 2 letters or something to bring that up. But
okay. But basically, I can just add it in. And it adds it. Yep, it added it in. Okay, wow.
The other thing, let's see if this works. Let's say you remove
just put what was the F8 thing? What was that? That was like
If you have a bunch of errors in a file and you use F8, you can toggle. It'll just jump to the errors automatically. So it'll just jump down the file through your errors. So it's just a quick way to cycle through errors in a file.
but then it also shows this. Oh, it's kind of like already expanded out errors.
Right, correct. Just in line.
Just in line.
There's a way to bring up the error kind of console looking thing that shows you, like if you had more than one error in there, it'll list them all out for you too. Do you know how to bring that up, Burke?
You mean the control backtick?
Yes. Yeah, problems, that problems tab. So if you get rid of event emitter, it'll show up in the problems tab too. So that's another nice little feature.
And then maybe.
So if you had more than one thing going on here where it's like event emitter can't be found in multiple places or.
Okay.
The other thing I want to show you that's fairly new in here, I'm assuming you have like the latest build. Is go back up to where you were importing event emitter.
Yep.
Remove it. And then just start typing it again, and it should automatically guess that you want. There you go. And you hit enter or tab.
It like knew from the error that I wanted event emitter.
Well, not necessarily that, but anything that you're importing, it will automatically suggest now for you. So if you start typing even another one that you would want to import from your stencil.
I can't think. Method? No, I've already got method. I think I'm already importing everything. State, prop, component, event, method.
Yeah, it's just auto completion for stuff that you could bring in because it automatically knows from looking at those files.
Yep. Before you had to manually trigger it. That's why I'm pointing it out. It's kind of cool.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, another thing. So if I'm editing through my WebStorm, like I can do this. I can do command, click into things. So I can do command, click into start camera. I can then do command, click into, well, that's a bad example. But anyway, I can command, click into things. And then I can go back through that stack. Do you guys have anything there with code?
Go ahead, Burke. I know you got this.
Yeah, I think for this one, you're looking for go-to definition. So if you find, go ahead.
Is that an extension?
No, that's built in. Yeah, sorry, I should have clarified because there's a lot of things that are extensions. So yeah, find the method, and now F12.
F12.
Yep.
Let me do the same thing. What was I doing before? I went into start camera F12. I
think you're already there.
Yeah, I'm already there. And then F12. That's exactly where I was.
I believe you can also control click into it as well, or command click, just like you were. And try that.
Command click. Let me go. How do I go back up? Is there a way of going back up?
Hit Command P and then P again. Enter. Or you can select it by clicking it. Or I do Command P and then P again.
Yeah, or you just do Command P and hit the down arrow. It's the same thing. It puts wherever you were last is the last entry in the switcher. So
okay.
It's the first entry in the switcher. So you just do Command P, down arrow, enter, and you'll be back where you were before.
Okay, I see. So if I go back to here, and then I go to the top, I can go start camera. Yeah, I'm pressing control click. And then I can go Command P, one down. Okay, cool. Command P.
Try hitting Command P really quick.
Command P.
Enter.
Look at that. I didn't know you could do that.
Yep. I'm trying to avoid saying Command PP.
This is like the definite pause. Command P.
Okay, final. And I don't know if this is a good example. This site will be a good example for this. But I never really understood debugging here because it's like, I know you can do it, but for instance here, it's just, you just edit a configuration, hit plus, and I'm gonna, what is this? This is a node app. And then, I don't have a good node here. Here we go. And then I suppose maybe it's because it's all a UI. And then I can add the file that I want to run. This isn't going to work in this case, but because this doesn't have an index, but whatever, let's say it's this. And then I can just run it and debug it here, and I start adding breakpoints. And the thing with VS Code, because it's, I know you can do it. You can just you have to add a configuration
for Node. Well, to clarify, for Node, you actually don't need. You can just hit the run button. You could highlight whatever file is your entry point. And
I don't need to do any. I just hide. Seriously?
Yeah, you just select whatever file is the file that you want to run, and you just hit that button.
I believe it'll also look at your package JSON to see what, for a Node app, right? It'll look at what your main file is and intelligently pick it up that way to run it.
Why have I got the impression I need to set up some config?
Well, you can, and you probably will, but I'm just saying you at this point, it doesn't know it, but other than your package.json, like if you wanted to override, pass in parameters to the command line, set working directories, things like that, you would do that in a launch configuration. But if you don't do those things, you can just go.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually, how do I stop? Am I running? No.
No, it's
stop. I don't think this is too complicated to run in a simple thing. Let me load up something else that is simpler. So this is my website. So if I go here and I can just, how does it know what to run?
Like what your entry point is?
Yeah.
Well, it looks at your package.json file. So if you have like an entry point in your package.json,
it's got it. It's just the file's called. I don't think this has it. I can't remember what I've got here. Wow, so that did just work. So I have here. How do I want to close these up.
And if you don't have an entry point, then it'll just try to do whatever file you have currently selected in the editor.
So what is my pack? Yeah, that was probably it. So it's just whatever's open in the editor. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, maybe it's not. Yeah, yeah. But that's not actually the right one. Okay, fine. So it's just, it just did whatever's in the editor. Okay. Wow, that just worked then. I never set anything up. Okay, wow.
And then you can, if you go back to launch configurations, because I see what you're saying, like the visual interface on top of what's essentially a JSON file or an XML file. I don't know what WebStorm uses.
Yeah, so this is it. This is the file I basically usually end up seeing. Yeah.
Right. Correct. So here, one of the nice things that they do provide you is Intellisense. So if you go down and to the next line and you want to add in a new parameter, these are all the different things that you can choose.
Okay.
So it's at least trying to help you out in terms of these are your options, and then you can refer back to the docs in terms of how to configure those things.
So what have you heard of Intellisense before? Like, you know what that is?
Yes. It's this thing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that to be like mean or anything. I'm making because I know that term I'm familiar with because of my history, but I don't know that everyone necessarily is. That's why
it's basically Intellisense is basically how I code.
Yeah,
so it's like if it doesn't Intellisense for me, I don't think I could write any code at all.
I always thought that Visual Studio was the first one to do Intellisense, but I heard that that's not correct. Sublime Text is actually the first editor to do Intellisense.
Oh, really?
That's what I was told.
You need to cite your sources, buddy.
I know. Scott Hanselman said that. So it's true.
So how do I find out what I can put in here? Like, is it am I just supposed to read the docs? Yeah, I presume I am supposed to read the docs, right?
You could, or you can leverage that Intellisense, like what Burke was saying. So if you do comma, and then there you go, like that, and you can figure out. And if you hit that little icon button, it's a little blue circle on the right hand side. Did you see that? Sorry, go ahead and do
this thing.
Yeah, it'll tell you what that's for.
Okay. All right, but actually, it's done the basic case for me. That's what I'd normally do with WebStorm, or I would just normally do whatever the default settings are. I rarely go in to make any changes. And actually, the normal thing I would normally change is perhaps some environment variables, and have different.
See if you can set those up here. Ask them. See if you can guess how to do that with this launch configuration.
Okay,
so I just want to watch.
Hang on, that's what this is, isn't it? This is launch program is this thing, yeah. And then attach program is the next thing here.
Right.
If I added another one, would that create another one in the dropdown?
Yes.
Nice. So, here, move to process. And then I'm going to launch something. So node launch. Okay, this is a lot easier than I thought. Node launch, that's the thing. And then environment. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's it, isn't it? Or maybe this.
Correct. Yeah, I believe that's right.
And now
another thing that you can do here is that you can actually, you save the file. Do you save it?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
So one other thing that you can do here is you can actually run multiple ones of these at the same time. So you can have it launch something, then attach, then launch something else, then attach to something else. That's called a compound launch configuration. So if you go back to your
one of these can be doing multiple steps.
Yeah, correct. So you can add one at the top there if you put a block at the top.
Yeah.
And set the type. And I think the type is no, go back and do command space, or is it control space? So I'm sorry, put type.
Yeah.
And then in right there, take out node and do control space.
No, control space. Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
Control space. Oh.
There we go. So let me see.
I think the compounds have to go above the configurations option.
Oh, it's outside of the configurations
I
option.
think so. Try it outside of there.
While you do that, I'm going to look it up so we don't have to.
Oops.
Oh,
well, just try doing. I think you just call it out as compound. The name. Remove type. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, and do command space there and see if it comes up. There you go.
Compound.
Yep. And then it's an array. It's an array, just like
configurations. Gotcha. Yep. Then this would be like type.
No. So here you would do name.
Oh. No. Okay. What am I doing? So what do I do now? Name.
Here, a name.
This looks like.
And you give it an in name. So let's say your name is.
There you go. Right there. It gives you the schema for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So, and then in here you would just put in launch program, attach program, right? And then it would do both. Launch programs, not the whole thing, just the name, just the actual string.
I don't need the. I don't even need the.
No, you're just putting in strings. It's just a list of strings.
Oh, it's a list of the other things that are in there.
Correct. Yeah, you're basically just calling by name the things that you want it to do. And then the next one, which may be attach program.
Yeah, because they don't want you to have to rewrite the configuration.
Yeah. I see.
And now if you go into your box up there in the corner by the debug, it should show up as a configuration, as a debug configuration in your dropdown.
Attack the program.
Attack the program. No, attach to process. Hang on. I kind of control Z'd it all. Okay, so now if I go...
Give it a second there. Yeah. For some reason, it's not popping up. Try saving it again.
Before I ran it and it showed up.
That's interesting.
It should do it without you running it.
Yeah. It should before.
There it is. Compound. Yeah. So now you can select compound. It'll do both of those things.
Oh, I can see it.
Those both probably, right?
Yes.
Process and
And if you look up there in your debugger bar up at the top, they both show up in the drop-down list that's in the middle.
At the very top center of the editor, you see the play.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, here.
Yeah, so you can stop or start. So you've only got one running. The other one failed.
Yeah.
If you had both of them running, they'd be both in there.
Okay. Oh, wow. Then it'll just flip between the source codes of both? Like wherever I am stopped in either one, it'll just flip between?
Well, I mean, you're running two different processes. One of them launched and then attached. It did both.
Okay.
And then the second one was just an attach. So what you did was launched, attached, and then attached again. So the second attach failed. But where this is really useful is if you have like an Angular app where you're running a Webpack server. So you want to launch that, but you also want to launch like your API, like an Express server. Yeah. And then both of those things are running at the same time in the same project. And you can debug them both inside of Visual Studio Code.
Oh, nice. Whereas normally I would have like two separate things open up and I might...
Right. You'd have two tabs, right? You have one running the Angular CLI and one that's running the Express server.
This is everything that I was asking for in my WebStorm.
You had a pretty good list, man. I'm impressed.
That was like, I mean, I did not expect you guys to kind of have answers for all that list, especially with this debugging one, and especially with the imports. So I'm really impressed, and
you're coming over.
I'm coming over
to the dark side.
I'm coming over to the dark side.
There's a great post on how to create the best Visual Studio Code setup in the world. I highly recommend it. So
who wrote that?
You can fix your theme here.
Fix my theme into a slightly darker color is what you're saying?
A slightly lighter color. Yeah.
No, my eyesight needs.
You want to see how to? You know how to switch themes, right? Bring up the command palette. Command Shift P.
Yeah. No, Command Shift P. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the command. The command palette you want, and then theme. Just start typing theme, and you can see preferences, color theme, or file icon theme if you're.
I can change both.
Yeah.
When did I choose this? Is this the default that came with?
That's default. Yeah.
So do the additional file icon themes. There's one that we all use that everybody likes called material icons.
Yeah, I love that one.
Do I just search material? What happens
Theme
there?
space material icons.
Theme space material. Material.
Yeah, that one's really popular.
What changed? Did something change?
Yeah.
Activate at the top. Right?
Oh,
there you go.
Look at how beautiful that is.
That is nice.
Yeah. Okay, let's choose a theme.
Look at those Python files, man.
I know. That's like easy to see now.
My favorite one is the Jade files get a little pug face because it's now pug. It's called pug.
It kind of makes me want to just have a project that has as many different types of files to see what icons.
I know. Like I'll add files just because I want to know like what's this file icon going to look like. Let's see what you got. Whoa.
Do not like that. Oh, wow. I can do it this way. No.
And there's a billion themes in the extension gallery. The one I use is called Hop Light, which is very light.
I love that we can see it live, like as you're switching through it. Because
I didn't know it would do that.
I've had other tools where I would have to install it, then see how it looks, and then I'm like, oh, I don't really like that. Then I go find another one, install it, right?
Yeah, with WebStorm, you have to install it and then see how it looks. I am going to pick. Which one do you find the most annoying, Burke?
This one, definitely. The high contrast.
The high contrast for sure, because it's the whole point of it is to really draw everything out for your eyes. So for those of us that don't need a high contrast theme, it's a little much. But it's supposed to be a little much, so that if you have a hard time seeing, it's easier to see.
I don't have a hard time seeing.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little much for you.
I like it.
Hey, man, to each his own.
Oh, wow, this is really good. I am super impressed, and I am now convinced. And now what I want to do is I want to go through and find all the plugins I can install. What are all the plugins you guys have got? Like, can you just tell me what plugins you've got, and I'll just install them all? Like, I don't really want to go through the effort of finding the good ones.
Um,
Is that what your website's all about?
what's that, mine?
Yeah.
No. Mine's got some. There's some of them are extensions. Most of them are just tips. But
I got the Git lens, which I think we went through already. Material icon theme, prettier, which helps clean up my JavaScript and TypeScript.
I got prettier. Yeah.
TS lint, some themes. The other one that's really cool, I think you like, it's called import cost. Go grab that one, Asim.
Import costs. I think I've heard of this one.
That one shows you like anything you require in your node project, or I don't know, I think it might work for other.
Yeah.
Too. It tells you the file size. And you realize how much you're really adding to your code base with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen this on Twitter, yeah.
I really like that one. It's kind of cool to see. What else do I got?
I've got
Wow. It's calculating them all.
the debugger for Chrome is a good one. That one gets used a lot so that you can debug your Angular or your React or your Vue code inside of Visual Studio Code. Because a lot of times what you do is you debug in the browser DevTools, like you set your breakpoints and stuff there. And then you go back and you modify code in your editor. Then you go back to the browser and you debug. Then you go back to the editor. And it's actually nicer if you can just debug and change your code all in the same spot. And that's what the Chrome debugger lets you do.
So I seem to already have this installed. Do I?
Yeah, it looks like you do. You must have installed it at some point.
And is this is this some config I need to set up in the debug?
So if let's say you had a site here that you wanted to launch and connect to, you would just go to your launch configurations and you would choose Chrome and it would create a launch configuration for you.
Oh, I have that. I do have that. But not on this one. Hang on. Where's my other file?
Command P.
Command P. Uh-oh. Hang on. Let me find something which has... So if I now go to here, I click... What was it again? This? Yeah, Chrome.
I think our screen's still catching up with yours.
Oh.
Man, that is a lot of...
Should I change the theme?
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh.
You're killing us.
Let's get some Monaco. Okay, so now...
Thank you.
Now, if I click... Oh, it's opened up a Chrome. Okay, nothing's running, but...
Refresh.
No, I don't think... Because I don't think it's going to be a good example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would have to be something that is ready to be run, like an index file that you could point to.
Yeah.
Or in the case of like React or Angular, the CLI opens opens a server on a certain port. So for React, that's 3000. So what you would do is you'd start your React app, right? And then you would just tell the Chrome debugger attach to the process that's running on 3000, and then it'll just attach to your site.
Okay.
The other thing to note with all these extensions is sometimes it might get a little wonky. And so what I'll end up doing, or like VS Code will start acting up and I'm like, all right, what's going on here? I'm on the insiders build, so I'm getting the latest and greatest all the time. But many times the culprit is some type of extension that I have. So I just go in and I'll disable them all and figure it out that way. And it's not necessarily VS Code that's the problem. So that's something else to keep in mind, because as we start adding more and more extensions, it's all, potential opportunities to bog it down, right?
Okay.
So. Hey, Asim, another thing you can do to find cool extensions is select a file type. So I don't know, select like your sass, or I guess this indexes file is fine. And then go to the extensions. What's it called, Brian? They're not charms, they're something.
I'm not sure.
So here, Asim, you have installed extensions on the left. You can close this context menu. And then underneath that, it says recommended.
Yeah.
Those files are recommended based on the current file that you have open. So it's not just random recommendations. So if you open a different file, you should get different recommendations.
Are you using Heroku here? Yeah. It looks like it's picking up on that too.
It is. I do use Heroku, but not on this project. I don't. Maybe I did run it on this project as a demo.
I wonder if it's in a config file somewhere because it looks like it is.
Does that say Prashant?
That's a very random suggestion.
Yeah.
Is that
I see you have some code. Maybe you would like Heroku. Yeah, well, yes,
But there's also Azure. Look at that. NPM.
Yeah, Azure. Beautify. This just popped up TS-lint, I think, for a TypeScript file. And then maybe it takes a second to change for...
Yeah, I don't know if it does it. Maybe it does it for all the files in the workspace. Or maybe you have to toggle out of the... It must be doing it for all the files in the workspace, and that would explain the Heroku CLI being there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I believe that whole feature that they have, they're kind of tweaking and tinkering with anyway, on what it's going to recommend and what it wouldn't recommend. At least that's what I heard. I don't know about you guys, but like the Beautify, Prettier, like there's all these, I don't know the difference between them. It's like, which one do you use? And I'm just using Prettier. That's the one I keep hearing about, but it's like,
yeah, that's the one I use.
Names and it gets confusing.
It's tough. We have so many tools that do relatively the same thing or like almost the same thing. So I just stick with Prettier and I shut my ears. La 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 la.
You use your hair to cover those ears?
I added because of your recommendation actually, so I'll just keep to that. It seems pretty good. I don't really care as long as it just reformats everything to some nice standard and I'm done.
So there's plenty more still. I highly recommend going to Burke's site that he has. What's it called again, Burke?
Oh, that's vscodecandothat.com.
Yep.
Okay. That's just tips and tricks on stuff that you may not know VS Code can do. A lot of it's extensions and things like that. Thanks, Brian.
No problem, man. And then if you want to know what's the new hotness that's coming out, well, I got you covered there. You can just follow along. I have some YouTube videos every time the new release comes out each month because the team's always working on it.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely.
This has been amazing.
Thanks for doing this call with us. That was a lot of fun. It's always remarkable to me how much Brian knows about VS Code to the point where I find myself like saying stuff and then waiting to see if Brian's going to correct me or like, do I have it right? Or, okay, yeah, I didn't say anything. That's the right answer.
Now, most of the time it's just everybody learns because there's so many different ways you can accomplish what you're trying to do in VS Code, I've found. And it's just a matter of somebody learned it one way, like clicking or using some keyboard shortcut, right? And you're all getting to the same outcome, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love this tool a lot. I loved it before I was at Microsoft. So it's cool to now have that inner channel with the team that's working on it and seeing what they're working on and all that fun stuff.
I would like to, because I do courses online as well. And I'd say quite often, I wouldn't say like most of the questions, I'd say maybe like 10% of the questions would always be, what are you using as your editor? What are you using as your editor? What are you using as your editor? And I was like, okay, I'm using this, it's like PyCharm, but it's like WebStorm. And then there's this decision in their minds as to whether or not they should buy it. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's a good idea. It's a good investment. But with code, if I'm doing a course or a workshop or something, it's so easy just to tell everybody, good, look, install it, it's free. And if I can then give them like a setup guide or something and say, hey, install it, this is how you set it up, and then you're done. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's using the same editor. And then.
Yeah, it's nice.
I could be wrong, but I feel like we all in this industry have this inherent curiosity of what is everybody else using that might make me more productive, right? And that's why we want to know about these like setups. And I love seeing people's workspace setups too, to help like make them more productive and focus on what they're doing. And I find myself going down that rabbit hole of like, oh, that's cool. Let me see what this person said. You know, you go through that YouTube chain. Yeah. People going through like, this is my setup and this is what I use. And yeah.
I'd always feel guilty on like my first day of any job where I basically spend almost the entire day deciding on my new color scheme and which font am I going to use for this job.
It's super important. Speaking of fonts, by the way, Asim, I can't help but notice that you're not using a font ligature.
Ooh.
And I didn't know if maybe you would like to know about font ligatures.
What do you mean?
Well,
I mean,
and
like,
I didn't know about this until a couple of weeks ago, but there's a code, a font that you can download called Fira code, FIRA code.
this is not in. This is separate. This is not
This
in.
is outside. Yeah, you'll have to download it, add it to your system. So you just Google Fira code, all one word.
Fira code.
There's a GitHub repo.
Yeah.
Right. So right there on the go to the GitHub, because that's where you want the you want the TTF or the font files first, so you can install it as a system font. So what it does is it turns, like, if you have like a bang and then an equal sign, so not equals, it turns that into an equals with a slash through it, right? Or it turns a triple equals into an actual triple equals. Like, instead of having 3 equal signs in a row, you have you have triple equals. And once you download this font, there's a user settings that you can drop into your VS Code, and then just becomes your VS Code font. And it looks a lot like what's already in there, but it just adds in these really sort of quirky, neat characters that replace the standard stuff. It's just fun.
So just install it.
Yeah, just I think there's a TTF file in the repo. Yeah.
Should bring up the font. There's like a fonts.
Yep, and then install it. Yep.
And
then if you go back to your Google search, your first result was there's a VS Code link there too.
And then, control plus comma.
Yeah, and you're going to add that block right there to your user settings file, which is that editor family and font ligatures.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. And then.
So the right-hand side is your custom overrides.
Is it?
The left-hand side is the defaults.
Okay. Oh, this is important, actually. Okay, I should actually have asked this question. But this is how I okay, fine. And then, I can change the zoom level. Oh.
Oh. Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff in the user settings file. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so now this is set. This is done.
Now you got it. So if you go back to a place where some of your code, you can start messing with it.
I have to restart. So let me restart. Is there a restart button? No.
You want to reload the window?
Yeah. Oh, just
you do Command Shift P reload.
Oh. So let's find a file. Let me just type something in. Oh,
That's cool, right?
It's fun.
Why is it not liking it? Oh, it's because it's like not.
It's
not
outside.
valid.
Yeah.
It's not.
Hold on a minute. What is that warning at the top? Your code installation appears to be corrupt. Please reinstall.
Oh man, I've never seen that before.
What did you do? Oh, maybe that's why you need to get an update.
Yeah.
So the other thing with that, you can add those the font and the ligatures, I think, in your terminal too.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I can. Yeah. I think I'll see how they look in code to begin with. Oh yeah. Okay. Ooh, no. I have touch bar support on my Mac.
Yeah.
Did that just come out?
Yeah, that was the last release.
Wait, is it supposed to put the function keys in my taskbar?
Yes.
I mean my touch bar?
Yep.
Do I have to turn it on?
I don't believe so. Do you have just make sure you have the latest update.
I do.
Maybe bring up the command palette and start typing in touch bar support, and it'll give you some hints there.
Anyway, I have to look into that more.
Nice.
Is it working? Yours, Brian? Is it working?
I don't have the touch bar. I can use the emulator. So I wasn't as excited about that one. But it's actually, what's exciting about that is for anybody that didn't feel there was valid use cases for their touch bar, besides maybe unlocking and locking their machine, VS Code now gives you a good reason to use the touch bar, because you can run all the commands directly from the touch bar now. Like if you wanted to start debugging, it'll have a little play button there that you can press. Makes it a little bit quicker to launch things.
Nice.
Yep.
That's good.
All right.
So I think the true test here, Asim, is we're going to see all your new content you put out is going to be using VS Code, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, going to be there. Well, yeah, it's going to be there for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Well,
Okay.
thanks, man. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate you including us on this. I learned a lot about Git just from watching your workflow.
I really appreciate everything. That was really useful. Again, I did not expect this to come out as this. I expected to have like a half, like you'd meet some of them, but not all of them. But I didn't. You've met all of them, and smashed the rest out of the park. So I'm like super happy. I'm like super happy.
Awesome.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right. Well, thanks, man.
We've got to do the wave.
And the recording here.